Guys, second video. So we'll talk about what I achieved over the past 7 years with reconstructing the body. And this started very simple and it all happened by accident. We'll get into that later. One of my hands moved by itself. I thought that's weird. Then another one. Then it sort of spreads through the body and you allow this to happen. And as you're doing this, you're getting very intuitive about what to eat and when to eat. And finally you realize, oh, there's this super intelligence inside my body. I'm just going to do nothing unless I feel compelled to do something. So you step back and you actively allow this system to have the smallest amount of control. And then it builds. And 7 years later, you collapse all the systems and it's direct cerebellar control, which is where I'm at today, including speech, which was very difficult. That'll be a whole video in itself. So what we're doing is by guiding the diet, we're changing the way the bioelectric networks communicate. Every cell begins to realign itself. The whole system knows where everything should be. You never thought about growing your body, it just happened. It's the same with repairing the body. Step out of the way, the biological systems take control again. So they're changing certain ratios and then they're pushing gradients. And we know this is very established science. So we're using these cerebellar predictive control systems, always knowing what to do, what to do, what to do. You don't think about anything, you just experience all this happening, you're along for the ride, and everything's amazing, and it keeps getting more amazing. So we'll get into flow states in the next video, and then we'll start talking about the savant, innate things that suddenly come out that every person has. They simply don't know it's there and they don't understand how to access it. And we've unlocked that door now and we can start to replicate what I've done. So we're using pendiculation, which is when you stretch the body to cause a chemical reset to restore biotensegrity. Biotensegrity is how all of the different tissues in the body work together to keep everything balanced exactly right. And we destroy this by putting our bodies into situations it shouldn't be in, stressing our bodies, or stressing it chemically through poor diet, and all these things will start to degrade. So all we do is let that put itself back together. And this is the origin of yoga. If you study the very origin of yoga and you go back into the ancient, oldest possible records and what the yogis were doing, they'd touched on this and they'd figured out a few things and they'd labeled a few things in their own way. And they said, oh, there's something more beyond this. We don't know what it is, but we sense it. Because of our modern technology, because I can have the best of the best food from around the world, bring it all to Australia, an amazing bioregion, that's what allows this to happen now. We take this extra step, and if you're following the science page, you're moving from one phenotype basin over into another, and at the end of the 7th year I was able to stabilize that. So now it's all very stable. I can make these videos, I can talk to you, but a lot of it was just doing as little as possible, giving the body the time that it needs to heal. So 7 years ago, constant chiropractic appointments, trouble through my neck here from using computers for years. So every day stretching, there are no cheat days, it's every day, every day, every day. Everything else stops. You don't need anything, you don't want to do anything else. All you want to do is this, you've found your purpose. Everything else falls away as you're focused on how far can I take this? Because it was all unknown. This went way beyond any expectations from the research you might do on the internet. And so we put all that aside and we say, well, it's a new model and here's the model, here's what you can do. Rebuilding everything, spacing of your fingers and toes, knees that were worn out, all rebuilds itself, repositioning the jaw because I had developmental issues in my jaw. I had a developmental problem with my hip, so straight away start working on that. And you'll be out walking and you'll be biasing things, you'll do strange gaits and things because the body just knows what it needs to do. It'll prop that leg up in a certain position at a certain angle because it knows what to do. The intelligence is all in the body. You're born with the program. You're born with your purpose. It's passed on from the last generation. And the purpose is evolution. How do we escape this thing that we're trapped in? Oh, look, it's a diet thing. Let's play around at the edges. And then all of this just came to the surface. Beyond anything that you could have hoped for or expected. Even when you say, well, there's this intelligence below, it's like, yes, but it didn't expect any of this to go to the extent that it did. You start by healing internal systems. That's the chemical factory. We need to heal that first. Rebuilding the microbiome multiple times. Everything else just flows out from there. So the body just knows how to stretch, how to move. And you could go through endless positions, like yoga positions. None of that's important. It's all going to be completely unique to exactly what you need in that moment. The system simply works through things one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. It just takes a lot of time. Biology is very slow. It took you a lot of time to grow your body. That's why it was a 7-year window. And before you dive into this, wait until we get to the full timeline, then you'll understand exactly what's involved, the sort of commitment that it takes. But as for what's on the other side, you're not waiting to process anymore. So your reflexes are extraordinarily fast. Your grip strength, in your toes as well. Everything is pushed to where it should be. Like we look at apes. Apes can hang from trees for a long period of time by one arm. We can't do that because we simply have the wrong biochemical structure. It was something that we lost as we went into this metabolic drift over the past 10,000 or so years. And we'll pull the timeline apart as well and see where things went wrong. There's lots of little telltale signs through history. So that's it for the body. Like there's layered things in there, lots of small things that were fixed, like numbness in fingers from nerves that had been damaged. I still had perfect eyesight. I had no cavities. I had one little root canal from an accidental knock to the jaw one time. Everything else, it just rebuilds itself. And it is amazing. You can't guess at just how amazing it feels when your body just kind of floats along every day without effort. You don't have to think. You're always pacing and using the exact amount of effort for the amount of energy that's required. So you become very efficient with everything. When we look at the broader social implications of what this new phenotype will mean, apart from the cognitive things that come, we'll do that in a separate video, the healthcare things that are going to come, and we'll do another video on longevity and what it means for the longevity market. But 7 years, that's basically what happened. Any ache or pain, it just goes away. You don't experience them anymore. Every movement is managed. Your whole life will be structured around just repairing the body. And you will do it because why wouldn't you want amazing health? I'm 51 years old now, and I had the vitality like stronger than when I was a teenager. The speed at which you can move, the efficiency that you do things at, and the amount of energy, the abundance that you experience what the body can do for the first time. And that's without even reaching the end of the process. So it's going to have large implications, obviously, for anybody doing professional sports. If you're training athletes, if you're saying, oh yes, I'm a peak performance coach, you haven't experienced peak performance yet. Yes, some of you are into flow states. Next video we'll talk about that. So we'll finish up here. There's always going to be lots of questions. I will always bring up more and more with each video. We'll get to flow states soon and we'll move forward from there. There's a lot to uncover. Keep having fun.